So everybody ready?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go over the urinary system. First, we're going to go over this ticklish piece of paper that's in the back of my head.
Oh, Lillian. I'm sorry.
All right. So first, we're going to go over the organs, and then we're going to go over the intricate structures. All right. So first, we start with the kidney. That's going to lead us into the ureter, which leads us into the bladder. Finally, exiting the urethra. All right. So ureter versus urethra. Okay. So now I'm going to go down the structures based on the list. All right. So this entire organ right here, to include that part, that dash right there, somebody nicely marked for me. That's going to be all kidney. All right. So the very outer structure is going to be the renal capsule.
Sorry.
All right. From there, this outer fleshy, or well, I shouldn't say so fleshy, but it's fleshier in comparison to the capsule. That region, that's going to be all renal cortex. All right. And in some books, that does also include the columns. So keep that in mind. So these columns there, that also tends to be considered part of the renal cortex. Some books don't consider it. But either way, you know, renal cortex overall at the very least is this part. And then you have the renal medulla, which is all that region there. All right. So now, on a renal cortex, you have the cortical nephron, versus in the renal medulla, you have much more of the what's going to be considered juxtamedullary nephron. So now going down the list. So we have, so I already discussed renal columns. Easiest way to remember renal columns, those are going to be all the ones with blood vessels inside them. So all these segmental arteries, which you don't need to worry about, those are going to all be part of renal column. Okay, renal pyramid, it's going to be this structure here. All right, which is also indicated here. This entire structure here is actually a renal pyramid as well. Okay, renal papilla, that's going to dictate the end of the renal pyramid, so that part there, or this part here. Okay, that's going to be renal papilla. So let's see. Renal pelvis, so that's going to be on this structure. So this is going to be the renal pelvis right here, that region. Okay. So now, with the renal pelvis, it seems like I went the other way. So with the renal pelvis, I have a calyx or calyces for plural. So majors are going to be in this region here. So they're going to divide up. So from renal pelvis, you see one division there. You see another one. You see another one that's actually cut up a little bit here. That's going to be a major calyx. Then you have the minor calyces, which is going to lead into your renal papillae. So that's going to be a minor calyx. That's a minor calyx. All of these. Yes.
You consider the renal pelvis as the trunk, and then the pelvis is just the branches, right?
Yeah, you could think of it that way. Trunk, and these are kind of like roots in a sense, yes. All right, so now from there, ureter, I already discussed, but on this model here as opposed to there, that's going to be this part here. I doubt you're going to get one dash like this, but you never know. At any rate, you know for sure, on the safe side, this is ureter. Okay, now on the bladder, I'm going to have to go back on this model real quick. So, first we're going to talk about the detrusor muscle, which is this part right here. That entire muscle right there, that's the detrusor. Okay. And we have the rugae. Just like in the stomach, these little folds are going to represent the rugae. And now we have the triangle, which represents the trigone. So that entire triangle is trigone. And inside it, that's where you're going to find the orifices. So first you have the ureteral orifices, which are going to be these top ones up here, which I can't really see, so there we go. Can everybody see it still? Mm-hmm. All right. That one and that one, those are ureteral orifices. All right. And then now we have the internal urethral orifice, which is only in the bladder. So that's going to be this one here, leading out. Internal urethral orifice. Okay. So now, for the urethra, anything below that, so like this region here, so below the sphincter, that's going to be the urethra here, and then that's going to lead us into our external urethral orifice. Okay. Then I believe that's it for that. These are the vessels, in case I didn't discuss them already. Renal artery, renal vein. Okay. So now I believe the next page is the nephron, right? Okay. So So now we're going to discuss the nephron more in detail. So as you see, every nephron here. So this is a nephron. Oops. Well, technically this is all a nephron, and this is also a nephron. They're all going to have arteries leading into them. So when we blow it up, this is what one of these capsules is going to look like. So this first artery is called the afferent arteriole. So always remember A comes before E, so this is the one that leads in. It's the bigger one, and it also has the juxtaglomerular cells. All right, so these are juxtaglomerular cells. And then this whole network here, that's going to be glomerulus. All this here, all of it. So the entire capillary bed, if you will. All right, that's going to lead us into our efferent arteriole, which is smaller. All right, so you can see there's actually a good size difference. And also this one does not have the juxtaglomerular cells that this one does here. Okay, so now the renal corpuscle. So that's going to be this entire structure here. So that's going to involve the glomerular capsule. Once again, I said this was glomerulus itself. And that's going to lead it out into the proximal convoluted tubule, which if we go back here real quick, that's going to be this one here. Alright, so that leads us to the nephron loop. Everything here. So nephron loop, that's the cortical nephron loop. It's going to be the juxtamedullary nephron loop here. Alright. Now from there, that's going to lead us into our distal convoluted tubule. So all of that there. For this one, all of that there. Then you see how they both lead into what's called the collecting duct. So this one and all these other ones have distal convoluted tubules leading into the collecting duct. And that's going to lead down into that renal papilla again. And that is actually, oh wait, excuse me. This here also represents a distal convoluted tubule. And these little cells here are going to be your macula densa. Alright, and that should be it. Any questions?